Hi, I'm Liberty. I'm here with Enemy, and I'm sat with the one and only Mike Shinoda. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, how's London going for you?
I don't know yet. I've only been here a few hours, so we'll see.
Last time you spoke to Enemy was just before Already Over came out. It's been a couple of weeks since. How's the response been for you?
It's actually been it's been so positive, and one of the things that I've been enjoying so much, because as you know, like there's like a little bit of a familiar DNA to the song. So Linkin Park fans are loving it. The comments in particular have been like so positive, and that's always a good feeling. You make something and people like it, you know?
Because you were teasing it like in quite a subtle way for a little while now, and the fans did a great job of putting it together.
Yeah, well, so like with some singles, I feel like you do single type things to promote them and launch them. And albums, you sometimes do different things, right? And I think part of my vision for how to do this, I kind of just like what I want to do right now, sits in between those things. Like it's like I want to put out music, but I also want to do more with it, and I want to do some other things that are like maybe a little more immersive. So right now we've got a game going on the website. People are like racking up points to be able to win prizes. Grand prize is an actual physical painting that I did specifically for this game, and somebody's gonna win it like this month. Yeah, and some other things like it's a more in depth. Usually, I don't do this many things for a single.
What was it like getting such a wave of positive feedback as a solo artist on a solo project, especially after so many years working with Linkin Park and working in a band setting?
I feel like I've done enough things separate from the band for so many years that it almost like didn't occur to me that way. You know what I mean? Like as far back as like the Fort Minor project I did separate from the band, or there's a song called It's Going Down. There was a soundtrack for a movie, a score and soundtrack for a movie called The Raid. Like I do stuff on my own. I have done stuff on my own pretty regularly, just to like break things up, and because sometimes I just have an idea that's not a Linkin Park idea. So for right now, this was actually an interesting moment because it sat almost in between. It was kind of like, it's a solo thing in the sense that it's got my name on it, but it has things that Linkin Park fans like about the song. Like it's really a rock song, and a lot of the stuff I put out recently hasn't been that. So that's probably one of the things people have reacted to most positively, is like oh, hey Mike, there's a lot of guitar on this song. That sounds great. Like keep doing that kind of thing. I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about the fact that like with the song I did, like I played all the instruments on the recording, and I'm also doing these sessions where I put together like little groups of people, and everybody like plays a different instrument, and it's like setting up, I don't know, like 5 different bands and going into the room and singing with people that I've never met.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So we saw the Australia one.
Yeah.
I hear we've just done an LA one,
Yeah.
and there's a London one on the horizon as well, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
That might be why I'm here as well.
Strange coincidence,
It's so
that,
strange,
right?
yeah. We'll see if it happens. I'm just trying to make friends.
Right.
If I make enough friends to get into the room with and they happen to play instruments, then maybe we'll do something. To do those, I've been trying to make them not... you know how like there's so many songs right now with features and everybody's like jumping on each other's songs? I wanted this to be more about like if somebody's in the group, what I really want is I want them to be known for the instrument they're playing, as opposed to, oh, it's the guitar player from that band. There have been exceptions. There will be exceptions too. But yeah, I want it to feel a little more unexpected than just like getting together with other people from bands that I happen to know.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how did the idea for this spawn? Like, how did it come up, and why were you so eager to work with new talent, especially on your own song rather than creating something new with them?
So okay, so for the last few years, I was writing and producing for other people. So Demi Lovato, Paris, Grandson, Swayco, Justice Bennett's, a number of others. Some songs that are still on the way, other ones that just didn't work out. And I was doing that. I've been doing that for years and avoiding, for the most part, avoiding doing songs of my own. And even in those songs, like it came up a couple times, like, oh, do you want to jump on the verse? Like, do you want to jump on the thing? And I'd be like, no, 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 this is your song. And then at a certain point, I started to realize I was getting the urge to do stuff, to do my own stuff. And I put out a song called In My Head. And then now this one, these are like part of this chapter of music that it's really like back to me making songs for me. With Already Over, with the new one, I was, since I played all the instruments, I was like, well, okay, it's such a live sounding song. Like, should I go tour? Should I put together some musicians to do a live show? And I realized like, now is not the time to go tour for me. Like, I want to stay in the studio and make some more things musically and otherwise. But I do want to present the song in a live way. So how do I like figure that out? Like, I don't want to put together a band and I don't want to go tour, but I do want to play it live. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like the idea came up with myself and then a few other people that on my team and folks at the label that I work with. We were able to arrange, like, come up with this format of putting together multiple sessions, and we just call it Already Over sessions.
Because, like you were saying, you've worked with so many like huge names like Demi Lovato, like Paris, but then also some emerging talent as well. Is there anyone who you've worked with who you see almost as like a younger version of you when you were first starting out in the industry, who you think could hit the same peak as Linkin Park?
It would be strange for me to work with somebody like me because the dynamic I'm looking for is one where I'm bringing something to the table that they don't have. Like, that's kind of the reason for doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I want to work with people that are different from me. And they've got an incredible thing that I love, and I can also bring a thing to the table. And I can have value, right? So, like, Paris, for example. So, Lynn Gunn from Paris. Lynn is a person who, she's a great songwriter, but she actually is also kind of a great producer. She came in with, like, when we worked on the song, like, she came in with this demo of like a very fleshed out like track. And so it wasn't my job, normally part of my job would be to really enhance the track and make the track sound like a finished song. Not as much in that one. Like, that one was more about aggregating her ideas, getting the lyrics and the melody really to where they needed to be, and supporting the ideas that she had that were not cooked yet. I feel like that question was, you asked if there was somebody like me. Maybe there probably are plenty of people that I would feel that way about that I haven't worked with. Stuff that I'm listening to right now, I really love Gene Dawson. I really love Break-Ins. Sleep Token, been listening to.
Of course.
Yeah, I think somebody from the UK was like, have you heard this yet? Was it really you?
That was me.
And I made fun of you for it. Do you
You
remember?
did. You told me that the UK
you guys
gets
always
over
have,
music.
You guys always have this hot band that you're like, oh, everybody's listening to this. This is the one that we listen to. And I was like, why is it always so trendy with you? And then I went and listened to it, and I was like, oh, I've actually already heard this band. I had already heard them, and I was like, okay, now I know why everybody's talking about this, because this new record is really, like adventurous? Like, it's really a strange, to me it was strange in like the best way.
I told you they were here to stay.
I believe you now. I believe you now.
There was doubt there first.
Are you dying that I remembered that? I didn't remember it was you, but that was like literally the story. That's really funny.
Speaking of the metal scene, what's your take on the modern day? I feel like it's evolved so much since you were first starting out. Do you reckon...
I mean, you already know how much I give a shit about genres and scenes. Like I don't care. I really don't. I just listen to what I listen to. I guess if I think about it, I usually am more impressed or drawn to things that build on top of tropes or common ways people do things, and they add something new to the conversation. So that's the reason I mentioned those artists that I mentioned just now, is that I think all of them add something to the conversation. Like, and so many more. I have this playlist, this Spotify playlist. It's a public playlist. Like if you follow me on, you'll see the Breadcrumbs playlist. My Breadcrumbs playlist just has tons of stuff I'm listening to that, like stuff that the metal stuff that I do like. It's usually because it's like unusual in some way.
And then, of course, I feel like it's been an insanely busy year for you, as well as releasing the new single, as well as doing the sessions, as well as the song for Scream 6. We've also seen you venture back into your early discography and release that like mega like anniversary reissue.
Yeah.
What was it like for you now, juggling all these new projects, to go back to your earlier work? Do you see it through like a different lens now?
Well, none of us were married to the idea of doing a 20th anniversary for Meteora, and it was kind of contingent upon the quality of the demos and stuff that we found. So once we dug into the, I don't want to say archives because we don't have it's not like that. It's more like the band management, like label, friends, so on. Everybody's got some little things like that they've just had since 20 years ago, and it was like, let's collect the stuff we've got and see if it's a release, and it was, and it was really, we felt really, I think we felt really good about it. We felt really confident that it would be a kind of package that that fans would be like surprised by. So that is how it played out. Lost was a the fans loved that. I was really happy with what we were able to do with it, and we actually just put out the 20th anniversary of Meteor was a huge box set. Like there was like a bunch of DVDs, a bunch of CDs. Not that anybody cares about physical stuff very much, but there was a ton of stuff. But the best, in most people's opinion, I think, the best thing in there was one of the albums called Lost Demos, and we just, right now, if you go on linkinpark.com, we just put out the vinyl for that. So it's nice to be able to single that piece out and offer it in a physical format that people actually do care about, which is records. And yeah, I think I've been, in the course of the last year, I don't know if it's just because of the place that music in general is at, or if it's just me not giving a crap. I've been listening to more like rock and alternative, more stuff with live instruments than previous years probably.
Speaking of these new songs, you sort of touched on it a bit. Can we expect to see more music from you in the future? Is Already Over potentially part of another album?
So I'm not putting together an album right now. I do have an EP of stuff on the way. It's called the Crimson Chapter EP. So it's based on remixes of Already Over. I've got In My Head is on there as well, and I did a remix of a song from a couple years back. The song is called Fine. It's 8 tracks, and basically 6 of them are new, but they are like not remixes, but they're a new version of material that's out there. Beyond that, next year we'll see. That's the whole reason I'm not going on tour or whatever, is because I'm making new stuff. So
Okay,
we'll see what happens.
And then any more Linkin Park reissues?
Nothing planned right now. I always just tell people when there's news, I'll give you the news.
Yeah, because you don't just reissue them, you give fans something to go for. The amount of thought and the amount of work that went into Meteora, that was like a big old box set.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a while. there were so many great like fan box set large packages that we collected when we were little or younger, and that we've seen along the way, that I think our bar or our like expectation for what's like a proper, you know, reissue or revisit it's kind of high. Like I don't love just like putting out greatest hits stuff or putting out, you know, remasters of things. We've done that, but it's usually not a big deal. And when something, you know, if we were to do a reissue of one of our Linkin Park albums, we want it to be a big deal. So if we can't make it that quality, then we won't do it. That's when people ask, are you going to do one for every album? I'm not sure, because I don't know. If it's not great, then I don't think we should do it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing the London version of Already Over. Is there maybe another place that you're visiting as well?
We'll see. Because of the previous chat we had and then today, I'm feeling like after this you need to give me some more music recommendations.
I will happily do that. Yeah?
Yeah, I think
maybe
so.
when we're not on camera, because I'll talk to you for an hour about that.
Okay.
I've got like a Rolodex of bands that are coming to mind now.
You're 1 for 1 at this point. So
yeah.
You're batting 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Each interview I'll give you a new band.
Great. Okay. Sounds
cool.
good.
Thank you so much for taking the time.